Good morning, y'all. I'm not in my kitchen today, but I want to talk to you just a little bit. We are going to make the orange slice cake. And y'all know I've told you for years, because it's in my first cookbook, so that's actually 4 years ago. I said, y'all just got to make this for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or you can make it for Thanksgiving and it freezes real good and you can wrap it up good, put it in your freezer and have it again at Christmas time. But what we're doing here today is right here, I've got my orange slice candy. You see that? And let me show you, I'm going to tell you the ingredients in just a minute, but let me show you this, what I've got. In this bowl right here, let me get you down where you can see. We've got coconut, pecans, and sugared dates. Down in there somewhere. There they are. Sugared dates. So that's what's in here so far. We're fixing to put in the orange slice candy. And I'm telling you, this is a delicious cake. Everybody loves it. I'm gonna sit, let's get you set up right here. We're gonna fix you so you can see down in the bowl. Let me get over here and look and see if we're good. Yes, I think we are. Let me move you a little bit closer. Let's get you right here. Y'all can see really super good. Hey, how's that? Can y'all see me okay? I forgot to bring my my stand with me, so we just gotta. Anna, help me. Let me turn you off a minute. Okay, now then, how is that? Anyway, y'all, you get one of your biggest bowls and put this much stuff in it, okay? And close that door, Anna, and let.
I just stopped it for the time being, because you'll hear it through the door.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we've got this all in our pan right now, and I'm going to show you the only hard part about this whole cake. I fixed to show it to you. Is cutting up this orange slice candy. That's your orange slice candy. Now this was my mother's favorite kind, and so she always had a beautiful little crystal candy dish out with a top on it, and she always put it out at Christmas time. Did your mama do that? Your grandmama? So here's how you cut it up. You can cut it up with a knife or scissors. I found that scissors are better, but you have to put a little flour in a small bowl and keep sticking your scissors down there in it, because if you don't, your candy will stick to your scissors. So what I do is I do that, and then I just cut off little tiny pieces like this. In other words, little slivers. Let me show you one up close so you'll see what I'm talking about. There's the little sliver that I cut off, see? And then if it starts sticking to your scissors, stick this back in the bowl, twirl it around a time or two, and go again. So you're just going to do this. Good morning, Izza.
Good morning.
And you're just going to do it just like that, and you're going to have your orange slice candy completely done. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, I've got all my oranges cut up. So they actually go into the bowl with all these other great ingredients. So I've got them all cut up. Now, this is the only hard part of the cake, is actually cutting up the oranges. Everything else is easy peasy. So I want you to look. This is a huge cake. Look at that. Looks good, doesn't it? All right, now we're going to go to the next step. Okay, y'all, now what we're going to do is I've got 2 sticks of salted butter in this mixer, and I'm going to put in 2 cups of sugar, and I'm going to cream it until it's really, really super creamy. That was the next step. Okay, y'all, you need to make this cake in a tube pan. This is a tube pan. Because let me say this, if you make it in a bundt pan, you don't be able to get it out. So this is what we use, tube pan. I took some parchment paper and cut me a circle of it, and I'm going to put it in there. But first of all, I'm going to take just a little bit of grease and slightly grease the sides, and that's to make the parchment paper stick to the sides. And I'm also going to grease this center part because there's not going to be any paper on it. So I grease that. And I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put just a little bit right around the cake pan so that it helps to hold the parchment paper in place. You don't want to put much, though. Just a pea size. You don't need much. This is just helping me for it to stay in. So you put this in there like that. Take your parchment paper, put it in like this. And I'll show you how it helps to stick to the sides. This is going to make it come out so easy, y'all. I'm going to fold it just a little bit. And I think you can see. And just take this and bend it over the side like that, out of your way, so you can work. Like that. Okay. And fold that down right there. That way it'll fold. Okay. I'm going to flour this little part right here. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on it, just so it makes sure that it lets go of my cake when I want it to. There you go. My pan is ready. Let me touch y'all and get you off. Hey, here's the next step. You've got all your pecans, your coconut, and your orange in here. But they won't kind of stick together. So what you do is you put your flour in there that you're going to be doing. So we have got to have here 3 1/2 cups of white lily all-purpose flour. 3 1/2 cups. And all you do is just dump it in your bowl just like this. Just like this. That's 3 1/2 cups. I already measured it out. I'm going to get me a spoon over here. Let's see. All right. And I am going to try to toss this in here and so that everything is coated. All the little pieces of candy are separated because they've got flour on them. Just chomp it around, do whatever you can to get everything coated in the all-purpose flour. All right, give me a minute to do this now. You can get your hand in there. Probably would do better. You kind of do it like this so that you're separating the coconut. It's got coconut in it, oranges, dates. I mean, how can you go wrong? You cannot. All right, we've got that all done. And I'll show you the next step. I've got flour all over my phone trying to turn y'all off. Trying to turn you off and on. It takes 4 eggs. Now my sugar and my butter are over there in the mixer. My eggs are room temperature. Somebody asked me the other day, why do you want them room temperature? Because you don't want your eggs to be cold when you put them in your batter. It messes up your baking time. I remember my mother, when she was going to do a baking day, she got out those eggs. That's the first thing she did. She got them out. Let me get a fork. And what she did is she got them out and she would let them get room temperature so her cakes would be good. I'm going to mix mine up a little bit before I put it in with the rest of the stuff over there. All right, y'all. You're supposed to cream your butter and your sugar till it's real creamy. Then we're going to add 1 egg at a time, okay? Here we go. There's 1. Two, we're going to let that bake till it kind of gets creamy, and then I'm going to show you how to do your buttermilk and your soda together. All right, y'all, this is a really scientific part right here. Let me get you up there where you can see. Get you some whole buttermilk, and you do 1/2 cup of whole buttermilk. Right there it is, 1/2 cup. I got it on the side, but you can see it doesn't come up above that, okay? 1/2 cup. And you're going to take a teaspoon right here. I mean, make sure I'm right now, because we can't mess up on this part. Let's see. Yep, 1 teaspoon. You're going to take a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda. And level it off. Well, let me see. What I do is I rub it on the side of the thing like that. 1 teaspoon. And when you put that and you dump it into your buttermilk, that's room temperature, and when you stir it with a fork, it doubles in size. Stir it real good with a fork. And it will double in size. And we're going to add this over there to that egg mixture that we've got, okay? We're going to add it to it. Well, our sugar and butter and egg, I should say. All right, look at this, how it is right now. It's already up to 1, let me turn it this way where I can read it. It's over a cup. It's over 1 cup. See that? The baking soda and the buttermilk is an important step. All right, I'm going to go add this to right over there to that. And I'm going to turn it over gently and mix it in. Okay, I want you to see this, and the reason I want you to see it is because it has a kind of a curdly look, and that's what it's supposed to look like, y'all. And you're going to pour this directly over this. This is a thick cake, and we're going to cook it on 250 degrees. Yeah, it almost takes 3 hours to cook it. So once we get this done, in here and get it on in our pan, you can do whatever you want to. You got plenty of time. And then I'm going to show you what goes on top of it, and we'll be done. All right, you can start by kind of doing this, but you're going to have to get your hand in it to really mix it, okay? So I'm going to do that because you just can't do it any other way. As a matter of fact, in the recipe, I tell you to do that. It's almost like you're making dressing. It is a thick batter. And it takes a long time to do it. See how it's still dry on the bottom right down there? So just take your time and do it right, because you want it to be good since you've done all this work in it. I'm going to keep on mixing for a while. Make sure when you're mixing it that there's no dry flour in it. See there? And I'm telling y'all, this is a thick cake. That's why it takes so long to cook. But you will be making something that is very, very special. It's in your first cookbook, but those of you who were lucky enough to get one, I'm telling you how to do it today. And a lot of my followers, I've asked them to make it for Thanksgiving, and they said they would. Now, you want to make it several days ahead of time. Don't wait till the day before. Go ahead, maybe on, well, maybe I can show it tomorrow. What is tomorrow? I don't even know. But I'm showing it to you in plenty of time for you to make you one. All right, I think it's mixed. See there? Like that. Now I'll show you how to get it into the pan. Let me turn you off. Okay, now we're going to take this batter that's thick as all get out. And we're going to put it in our tube pan. You cannot pour it in there. It's too thick. So just reach down in here. Let me get you tilted a little bit more. How's that? reach down in here and get you a nice spoonful of it like this and put it in there. And we're going to have to kind of smear it around in a minute after I get some in all the places. See how I'm doing it? Then I'll take the back of my spoon and kind of press down a little bit and fill up the air bubbles like that. Push it down with the paper a little bit. All right, we're coming right along, y'all. That was about a date right there. Make sure you get the sugar dates now, not just regular dates. I hope I've answered all the questions today that you might have. Now here's how I started it. See how I'm pushing down in there? And it's gonna take me a while, so I'm gonna turn it off till I get all the batter in there and pushed around and even. I love that y'all being in the kitchen with me today. Okay, y'all, I've got all the batter in there. Make sure that when you get all your batter in there that you're pressing down the back of the spoon and getting it level. And I'm going to take the back of my spoon and kind of level this off, because when you sit it in your cake stand, which is going to be gorgeous in your cake stand, you want it to sit level. So just kind of look at it and make sure that you hadn't got one side that's higher than the other side, okay? All right, here we go. I think that looks good to me. I think. As a little red engine said, I think I can. All right, so here you go. There's the cake. Y'all, this weighs a ton. I'm going to put it in a 250 degree oven for 2.5 hours. Sometimes I've had to cook mine over 2.5 hours, like I cook it almost 3 to get it done. So I can just do whatever I want to for 2.5 or 3 hours now. I ain't got to do anything, because I fixed to put it in a preheated 250 degrees oven. I'll be back in a couple of 3 hours. Okay, y'all, I know I look bad, but I've been working since my cake's been cooking. It's been 3 hours and 10 minutes. 3 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm going to get it out of the oven right now. Let's turn you around where you can see me getting it out. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, here you go. There it is. Let me close the oven door and turn it off. Capsule. All right. Okay. Let me get you out of this so you can see good. All right, there's our cake. Look at it, how pretty. You hear it? It's nice and crunchy on this. Now I'm going to make the glaze that goes on it. And we're going to paint this cake with some glaze, and I'll show you what kind. While our cake is still warm and still in the pan, you can use orange juice that is in a jar. I mean, like you buy it. But I'm using the real one, and we're gonna have, I've got 2 cups of sugar in here. That's what it calls for. And I am going to put enough orange juice in there to make it liquidy, and I'm gonna boil it for 1 minute. So let's see how much we've got. Now let me cut my orange in 2. I wish I'd thought to roll this orange before I did that, but I didn't think about it. And that ain't gonna work. This is a hard orange. I gotta soften it up a little bit to get that juice out of there. It's a navel orange, but I guess they're selling them to our grocery stores green. The easiest way is just buy some orange juice, use what you need, and then cook with some. Let me do this. I'll be right back. Y'all need to watch me do this. With this orange, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna roll it, and it's gonna make it a lot easier. And we'll see how much juice I get out of 2 oranges, because that one orange didn't have a lot of juice in it. Now you may get an orange that's very juicy, but I didn't. I bought them in a bag, and I didn't hardly have any in it. It was $7 and something for one bag that I paid. What I'm gonna do on this one is cut that end out of it like this. This is what my daddy used to do for us when we were kids. He would get his pocket knife and he would cut this out just like this. Cut that thing out like that. Then he'd take his pocket knife and do this in it, around. And then he would hand it to us to suck on it and get all the juice out. And then when we did, we would split it open and eat the pulp. Isn't it something how we remember things about our daddy and what he cut it with and all that? Let's see if it works better this time. Oh my gosh, yes, it worked a lot better. My hands aren't as strong as they used to be. I'm going to use the juice of 2 oranges. That's all I'm going to use. I'm not putting 3/4 in there. I don't think I need it. I put 1.5 cups of sugar because I got folks in my family that don't need to be eating all that sugar. Even though a recipe calls for it. And my mama put it, and I put it, and Granny and George's mama put it. I'm not going to put it. I'm going to put just 1.5 cups of sugar. I think I said 2 cups, but that's how much it takes. But I just put 1.5 cups. And I'm going to put the juice of 2 oranges, and we're going to get over here to the stove and heat it up. All right, y'all. Out of the 2 oranges, I got 1/4 cup, and I'm going to put it over this sugar right here. And I'm going to stir it around and see. I might put just a little water in it because I just hadn't got enough. I'll put this much water. Let's see how much of that is. Well, it's not quite 1/4 cup, so that would be 1/2 cup I was putting in there. I'm gonna put, not need to put all that. Let's go put just a little bit. Okay, here's what you do. I'm fixed to stir that up and bring it to a boil and cook it for 1 minute. After it gets to a little boil, you've got to punch, while the cake is still warm, punch some little holes with a toothpick. This is all I could find. So I'm just gonna punch a few holes in it around. Toothpick would probably do better. Y'all, this is the best cake. I'm telling you, you've got to make it. And the good thing about it is you make it the day before or the 2 or 3 days before. And it's gonna be good. And it'll last forever. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna put half of that boiling mixture over here and save the other half for when I undo the cake to paint the sides with. And that will hold in the moisture in the cake. And so it can't dry out or do anything. I mean, it's just so good, y'all. You gotta try it. All right, I'm doing my orange juice right here and my sugar. Supposed to boil it for 1 minute at a boil. It's making a syrup, y'all. And I'm timing it. My cake is still warm, and that's when you're supposed to put it over with warm syrup, and I'm supposed to use half of it and save half of it to paint the outside when I take it out, okay? Okay. That's a minute. Okay, the cake is warm. I've punched holes in it. And now I'm going to do half of this. See, it's syrupy. It's syrupy. And it's going to go down in those holes and go into the cake. And it's got a great orange flavor. And you might have a little left over, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure it gets down in. If your cake cracks a little bit on the top, that's a good place to put this syrup because it's already made a hole. And try to go all over it. Don't skip a spot because this is what holds in the moisture in the cake. It kind of like seals it. All right, one more. And I think that's going to be plenty. We'll save the rest for the, that little bit right here. Right in that hole. There's a big hole. I'll fill it up. All right, there she goes. I'm going to take this little doodad right here, or a little paintbrush, or whatever you got, and I'm going to rub it just real gently, real quickly to make sure there's no cake left untouched by this, because this really needs to be on every square inch of it. It's going to make a huge difference in your cake. So make sure that you've got some. If you see a place that looks like this regular cake, we'll spread this over it. Okay, now we're going to let this sit in this pan with that on top for 2 hours. Okay, see y'all in 2 hours. Okay, y'all, it's time to get this cake out of the pan. We've waited our 2 hours. Actually, I waited just a hair over it. This center section right here, this, I like to take something and go down it because a lot of times it doesn't want to come away from that. So I'm doing it. That sugar syrup with the orange juice in it makes it want to stick. Okay, and also what I do is on this bottom part right here, I kind of hit it slightly so that it will come out of there. Let's see if we can. There we come, there we come. Just push up on the bottom of it and get it like that and pull it out. And there's the bottom part of it, okay? And then just gently pull off your paper like this. And I really do suggest using your parchment paper because if you don't, you might be in for a rude awakening. This makes it a lot better. Okay, now then, here's what I do now. It's still warm, and I'm not going to tear this off yet. It's still warm, and this is when I need to paint the this part. Listen, y'all hear how hard that is? That sealant, that sugar and that orange juice sealed this cake, and I'm fixing to seal the sides of it. I'm gonna brush it on it, but I want to show you this. This had to sit out, you know, while we were letting the cake cool. It's hard as a rock in there. So I put just a little bit more water. You can put a little bit more orange juice. And I'm going to gently heat it back up so I can paint it on. Then it'll get hard again to seal it in. So let me heat this up. Okay, y'all, I know you think this has been an all-day affair, hasn't it? Well, it actually has. I had to go back there and I looked haggard. I mean, really haggard. I still do. But, all right, so we put this on low heat to melt it back up because it'll harden during the time. So just take, this is a little plasticky brush thing right here that I've got, and I am going to paint the sides of it all the way around it. Don't rub it too much. In other words, the cake will rub off. And that's why I left that paper on there right now. You're just going to go all the way around it. And this is going to seal your cake. And it will last, so you could go ahead and make this as soon as you see this video, because it will last weeks and weeks. I will say this, when we put it on our cake plate, and do not put the dome on it until the cake is totally cool, because it'll sweat. You want all of your cake to be cool before you put the dome on it, okay? And when it gets cool, I'm going to show you how I'm going to get it off of this metal thing that it's on. But that's all you do. Just go around it and around it. You're going to have some of this juice left, y'all. But it tastes really good with that orange juice in it. Really super good. Just kind of make sure you do it all. I don't have one of those twirly things today. So, you go all around it like that, and then we're going to let it cool and take this off, and then put it on your cake plate, let it cool completely, like hours and hours, and then put the dome on it. And this one, I'll show it to you tomorrow. Or what I'll do is, I got to come back anyway. Okay, y'all, the cake is cooled on the outside. I turned it upside down. Take this off, put it in your wash water, pull your paper off, throw it away. Get your cake your cake plate. This is what we're gonna use right here. Let me turn it around and you can see. We're gonna use this one. So we'll take the cake, flip it over, and put it on. And it's still just a tad warm, but you need to cool it. And this will get hard around the edge where we painted it. And then when it gets really cool, I'll put the dome on it. It may be a lot later, but that's it. That's the orange slice cake, and it took me all day to do it. I hope you enjoyed this video, but it's well worth it, y'all, and you will love it. Talk to you later, and happy Thanksgiving.